Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. And today I'm here with my dear guest, Lisa. And we are here talking about everyday miracles because they are always happening, real stories of everyday miracles. It's all about just noticing them and just celebrating them. Okay, Delisa, the floor is yours.
Oh, wow. I hear a little echo with your voice, by the way. I am so happy to be here today. I am a dream doula. I'm a spiritual life coach and an artist, and I also call myself a crone because I am a woman of a certain age. One of my friends said, "You're not a crone." I said, "A crone means you're a wise woman, not like an old ugly witch." So yes. I love to talk about dreams, and I think we're going to go down the dreaming while you're sleeping rabbit hole today, shouldn't we?
Oh my gosh, I just love it, right? Because before we got live, I had this conversation with you and I said, Delisa, this is the miracle when we could actually, have our dreams and know how to interpret them. Because it's so crucial because the dreams actually carry the messages, right? So our subconscious mind is always sending the signals to us. And if we know how to interpret our dreams, we do get the signs and the direction. So the floor is yours.
Well, many years ago, I'll tell a few minute story if you can indulge me. Many years ago, I was pregnant with my first kid. And my husband and I were talking about which names we wanted to name the babies. And I thought, oh, what if we named the kid Terra or like the Earth or Indigo? That'd be fun. And one day he said, oh, I don't think so. How about something simple like Sharon or Susan or Molly? And I said, wait a minute. Those wouldn't be ex-girlfriends' names, would they? And he said, well, actually, yes, but they're really good names. And I said, no, absolutely not. We're not naming any kid after an ex of yours. And I went to sleep that night and I had a dream. In the dream, there were men in my house and I was giving birth. And I thought, why are the men in my house? I'm having midwives and they're women. Very confused. I could see the men's black shoes. Then suddenly, as dreams happen, I've had a baby and I'm looking at the baby and it's a little baby girl. And the baby girl morphs into a 12-year-old who puts her hand on her hip and says, I want you to name me Molly. And in the dream I said, oh, honey, Molly's such a boring name. And then she said loudly, I want to have a boring name. And bing, I woke up. I wrote down the dream in my dream journal and I promptly forgot about it. And a few months later, I go into labor. I call my sister who's a birth doula. She comes over, she says, are the midwives on their way? No. Is your husband on his way? No. Excuse me. She was told to call 911 because I was about to have the baby before the midwives showed up. So suddenly, there are men in my house with black shoes on. I didn't think anything of it. But the midwives came 20 minutes later. I had a baby and they're yelling at me, talk to your baby, talk to your baby, talk to your baby. And when I looked at the baby, it was like that dream. It was exactly the scene from the dream where I'm looking at a baby girl. And I heard myself say, hi, Molly. So not every dream is a premonition of like what you better name your baby. But some of them are obvious, so obvious like that they kind of blow your mind.
Oh my God, what a beautiful and fascinating story. And thanks so much for sharing, right? And I think it's just like, I always wonder, like, why do some of the people get more signs than others? Like, for instance, I never dreamed of something that actually came into the reality, but I did interpret some of the dreams, some of the signs that show up, right? I was just interpreting that this is something that can actually happen in my life. But it's interesting how we are all connected to that side, that mysterious side, that spiritual side, and how the dreams actually can help us and guide us. Can you share more about what exactly, how do you help people to tap into this world?
Well, every one of us dreams for about 2 hours every night, but not everyone remembers their dreams. So the best way to remember your dreams is right when you wake up in the first 5 minutes, write them down. Because after you get up and you start wandering around and drinking your coffee or whatever you do in the morning, the dreams will just kind of disappear. So I always have something to write on and something to write with right next to my bed. Um, and also, the other thing to remember is that dreams are a different language. They come to us. It's like listening to a different language. So one of my friends called me one day and said, "Oh my God, I had this dream. You got to help me. I don't understand this dream at all." She said, "I'm terrified in real life of spiders." And in the dream, she was sitting on her couch and she noticed there were spiders that were life-size, big, hairy spiders walking around the edge of her room. And she screamed in the dream and hopped up on the couch. And suddenly a little girl appeared that was a spider size, picked up a spider and carried it toward her. And then she screamed again and woke up. And she said, what does this dream mean?" And so I asked her this one question, and suddenly the dream was revealed. Like, what is in your life sort of skirting around the edges of things, so to speak, that's frightening you right now? And suddenly she knew. And she also thought the little girl was her, bringing her this message that whatever this thing was that was really big and scary in her life was not so scary she couldn't deal with it. But one might just go, "Oh, I'm scared of spiders. I had a spider nightmare." But really, it was a beautiful gift to her worried human self that everything's okay.
Oh my God. I just love it. And you know what it brings for me? It's just like, we know, right? Because we talk about it. You do the life coaching as well. It's all about understanding that we all already have the answers inside of us, but it takes another person to ask the right questions in order to pull out these answers from ourselves. And I just love how you demonstrate exactly how it's all happening. In other words, we are not the ones to tell people what it is, right? We are the ones to kind of guide them through the experience and figuring the answers on their own.
Oh, right. Absolutely. Because you can look up dream meanings, what does a spider mean in a dream, in all these different books. But what it means to one person is not necessarily what it means to someone else. Each dream is, I believe, the dreams we have at night are messages from our higher self, our soul self. And you can get an answer to any problem that you might be facing in life by asking yourself before you go to sleep, what can I do about this? Or I'd like to dream about this, and write it down. Some people write it down on a scrap of paper and put it under their pillow. You don't really have to sleep on top of the paper. You can just ask yourself in your dream journal, like, I'd like to dream about this. One night recently, I was very troubled about something. And I was like, what should I do? What should I do? Give me a message, I said, and I went to sleep, and this was the message. I'm in a hallway, and in another room, I could see my parents slow dancing. And then I wake up. And I thought, what does that mean? And then later I thought, okay, I get it. I should relax. I should be like, loving people slow dancing.
Oh
So do
my
you
God.
have, I'd love to know, do you have a recurring dream or nightmare that you've had in your life that you want to talk about?
I don't even know. Oh, you know what? Yes, recent dream.
Okay.
Interesting. Recent dream. So I'm dreaming I'm somewhere in the backyard, like unknown a sea. And I'm looking down and there is like that pot. And there are like small live fishes, like like swimming there. And the weird thing is, I take one of them and I just swallow, like a live fish, and I just swallow it. But they are not like decorative fish, not the ones that like in the sea and beautiful in aquarium. They are like like the ones that you would eat, but like small sizes. But they are alive, right? And I just like take one and I just swallow it. And it was so interesting because I was like, what does that mean? And obviously, like I just went on with my days and never went back to that, but it's very interesting.
How did you feel when you swallowed the fish in Dreamland?
You know what? It was a very weird experience because consciously I knew that, like I'm swallowing the live fish, like this is not the way I would eat the fish, right? And it was like a very weird thought going through my mind, like, why would I do that? But I still like just went. I can't say that I was disgusted or if I even felt the taste of it, but it just like, I just did it. It was like once and done.
And then what happened in your dream?
And then I just, like a different scene and I don't even remember what happened. But it was just like something that stick with me because obviously I doubt that I dream every night, or maybe I do, but I just don't remember them. It's
Yeah.
like very sporadic. I would have the memories of my dreams, but that one particular just stick in my head, and I was like, "What is that all about?"
Wow. I think my personal belief about dreams that stick in your head or dreams that are nightmares or you have them over and over again, like it's an important message, and that's why you remembered it. So I wonder what you're swallowing that's live. I wonder
Exactly.
what kind of slippery, fishy, wiggly thing that you're taking in life.
That's interesting. And the,
Yeah.
the point is also the size of it, right? It wasn't huge. It
It
wasn't
was
huge. It was
it was
small.
hmm But there were
So
lots of them too. So you took one small bite, one we didn't even bite it, you just swallowed
not
it.
bite, just like literally shoved my throat and just swallowed it.
Oh, that's so cool. I have no idea what that means, but it seems like you're doing a lot of things in life, and you might actually be looking down at a pool of so many different things you could choose from that you chose one, and that's the one you're working on right now.
This is so interesting. I have to sit with that now because that's true. It's like, I'm involved in so many things and in so many trainings and everything. So maybe it has something to do that we just had the conversation prior to
Yeah.
coming on live when I was talking about the new training that I just signed up for. And I said that this is really gonna make a huge success for myself. So maybe it does have, like some
Ooh,
relation
that gave
with
me the
that.
shivers. That gave me this.
Yeah,
Okay, so I think that's what it is. It's like the school of fish is all these trainings that you could do, you might do, you have done. They're all just swimming down there, but you picked up this one, and that's the
and it
one.
was easy and just like I swallowed it, like like I just wanted one, did it once, right? So it means that it should be fast, it should be efficient, and it should be great.
Right.
Oh
Okay,
my god.
so the path is paved for you. I love it.
Yes, it's so beautiful. And you know what I love, just for the audience, they might listen to us and say, these women like freaky stuff, what are they talking about, right? You know what, I learned how to trust my intuition. I
Mm-hmm.
just learned because a long time ago I was trying the regress therapy, and like they make you go, like, because it's not hypnosis, so they don't put you like, they don't knock you out, but you still like in that conscious you know way of talking, right? You're just laying down with the closed eyes and you start remembering the things. And obviously, remembering, how could I remember? It was just something just coming to me, like I was just telling the fairy tale, right? Not even knowing this is true or not, like from your past lives. And I was, like, and then I was questioning, is it like really true? And obviously I got some confirmation later on. So it was like from one of my past lives when I was a man and I saw myself to be a teacher and living this life, like I always wanted to have a family. And then, like my wife died giving a birth. And I was thinking to myself, what the crap am I just, like it just was coming out of me. I'm like, you know what? Is this like real or not? But then I got the confirmation. And the point is, nothing comes to us for nothing. It's like, just trust your intuition, because sooner or later, the more you trust your intuition, the more signs you start to pick up. And once you interpret these signs, your life becomes so much easier. And you have that path for yourself, which you have the guidance, right? You stop walking blindfolded. You
I love
start
that.
seeing things. It's like, you start seeing things that otherwise you would miss.
I love that so much. I was talking about intuition with someone the other day, and I said, you can practice your intuition if you don't trust it quite yet. You can practice it on simple things like, should I go to this store or that store? Or should I turn right or left? Should I leave now or in 10 minutes? And one day I was thinking, there's a young couple that live in town, and we did a collaboration, a sound bath teaching thing I did last year, and I thought I would really love to talk to them. I should call them. I should text them. I should this or that. And as the day moved on, I'm just thinking about them, and it's quite late at night, and I think on the way home from what I was doing, I'm going to go to the store and buy potato chips because that's my secret junk food. So which store do I want to go to, this store or that store? I'm like, I don't know. I'll just go to the store that's on the main road. So I go to the store, I buy the potato chips, I get to my car, and as I'm putting them in my trunk, I hear someone say, "Hey, Lisa," and parked right next to me in the parking lot late at night are the people I wanted to talk to.
Oh my
I was
God.
like, "Hey, I just was thinking about you. I went, let's talk about blah, blah, blah." And they're like, "Yeah, so great to see you." And then I just got in my car and thought, that was perfect. Did I plan on finding them in the parking lot while I bought potato chips? No. But my intuition took me to the place where they would be.
That's like I said, it's true miracle, like real life miracle. That's
Yeah.
exactly what our conversation has continued to be. But you know what comes for me also, when we think of somebody, it's not the coincidence. Like
Yeah.
sometimes we don't even, like think about certain people. Maybe they are far away, maybe we didn't connect with them for the longest. But once that person comes to your mind, it's not the coincidence. So I always, advise people connect with them, right?
Right.
Connect with the call or do the email or message something, because people, like all these thoughts that come to us, they download for the reason.
Yeah. In fact, later on, I talked to that couple and they said, he said, I was thinking about you that day too. So he was thinking about me. I was thinking about them. And the universe connected us in the parking
Mhm.
lot.
Right. That's so, so true. It's like, they say that it's all about frequency match, right?
Yeah.
When you think of somebody, that person is picking up that thoughts from you as well. So because it just proves the point that we are all connected in this vast universe. We are all connected no matter how far away we can be from each other.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, I could think of another story to tell. Do you want to hear another story?
Absolutely. I would love to hear another story.
So when I was a young woman, I was a chauffeur and a bellhop at a downtown Seattle hotel, and the hotel was closing. I was like, I hate this job. I'm gonna move to the coast of Washington and work on boats because before that I had worked on salmon charter fishing boats. So we took people out for fun to fish for salmon. And I thought to myself, I'm going to go get a job on a real boat. I want to work on a commercial fishing boat, the kind that go out and get our fish that we eat. So I bought my parents' used car. I put everything I owned in it. I drove to the ocean, found a little cabin to live in, and every day I walked up and down the docks looking for work. I'm looking for a job on a real boat, a real boat, a real boat, a real boat. Told all my friends. One friend connected me with a guy who had a longliner. They fished for black cod. And he said, here's my friend, Lisa. She's looking for a job on a boat. And this at breakfast, the guy said to me, I don't hire girls. And so I thought, screw you, man, whatever. Well, then he said, we don't have a head on the boat. So people that don't know about boats, that means a toilet. If you have to poo, you just take your pants down, lean over the railing and poop in the ocean. I'm like, ooh, no, thank you. I don't want to work on your boat.
Right?
Anyway, the days go on. I'm going up and down the docks. I'm telling all my friends, and one of my charter boat friends who had a brand new 50-foot boat said, you know what? I'm a plumber during the week, and then I come down on the weekends. Why don't you run my boat during the week, and I'll come down on weekends. You'll have weekends off. And I said, oh, okay. So suddenly I find myself running the newest boat in town, getting weekends off, which no one else got. And I was one of 3 women skippers out of 325 boats. Fun.
Wow.
So later on, I see this guy at the fuel dock. He's got his little wooden boat. He pulls up. I'm in this fiberglass boat. I'm like looking down at him. He's looking up at me, and he's like, hi. I'm like, hi. But that's not the best part of the story. The best part of the story is that later that summer, his boat sunk. His
Oh
boat
my,
sunk, and everyone had to jump into the ocean with their life jackets on and paddle around until the Coast Guard picked him out of the ocean. So not only was I saved from pooping over the railing,
yes.
I got the best job ever, but it wasn't the job I was looking for.
Oh my God. What a powerful story. And Lisa, what I love about it is just like sometimes when things don't work out for us, we have to realize it's for our own good. Because at that particular moment when this happens, we don't see the benefit of it, right? We can
Yeah.
get frustrated and upset. But as the time goes, you're going to realize, oh my goodness, this was actually for my own best benefits. And nowadays, that's my mantra, right? Every time something, like starts to trigger me in the way that, like I think I should worry. But
Mhm.
instead of worry, I say to myself, this is for my highest good. And let me tell you, it shifts my energy right away. As soon as I say this phrase, this is for my highest good, because I know that I'm supported each, and every step on my way. And I know I'm connected, I am powerful, and everything is happening for my highest good. Maybe at this moment, I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm not aware at this point, but sooner or later, I'm going to be blessed and grateful.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't life is such an interesting journey.
I just love it. I just love it. And, like rather than waking up every morning to be stressed, why don't we start searching for the miracles?
Oh, I love it. Yes. Because the miracles are everywhere.
So
Everywhere.
true. It's
Mhm.
all about starting to pay attention and notice them.
Mhm.
And the best way, especially for somebody who never done this kind of thing, right? Set the intention. In the morning, wake up rather than just thinking, oh my gosh, these are all the things I have to accomplish. I have the deadlines at work, my boss is an asshole and blah, 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 right? I don't deal well with my wife, with the husband. Why don't you just, have the time for yourself and say, I wonder, I want to discover one, two, or three miracles.
Mm.
Okay, and just, go into this beautiful world like a child with full of curiosity and fun and see
Oh,
what you.
yeah. Yeah. Uh, my kids asked me a couple of just really wise things when they were little. One of them said to me one day, Mommy, which is real? When you're dreaming or when you're awake?
Oh my God.
And I said, What do you think? And she said, I think they're both real. I said, Yeah, I
That's
agree. And
so
also,
good.
I used to live in Seattle. So one day, just to what you were just speaking of, one day I woke up and I was like, ugh. My other daughter said to me, Mommy, is it raining? I'm like, yes, it's raining. And then she looked radiant and she said, Does that mean I can jump in a mud puddle with my
That's
boots?
cool.
I'm like,
Yay.
yes,
Oh my
yes.
God.
And so from like, it's raining to, yes, let's go find some puddles to jump in.
I love it. I love
Mm.
it. And just to wrap it up, it's so, so great that, like you shared so many beautiful stories, Delisa, and I shared the links for people to connect with you, to see what their dreams are all about, to check out, and the link tree, so they can see all other things, beautiful things you're doing in this world. And it was such a pleasure to have you with us, and for people to continue dreaming and continue believing and continue to live in the miracle.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.